Why did every 90s celebrity get a milk mustache? These are from an entire book about the milk mustache ads. Yes, really. Basically, this whole ad campaign is, look, a famous person looks kind of funny. I should buy milk now. But this wasn't just a successful ad campaign that ran from around 1995 to 2015. The reason all these people have milk mustaches is part of a bigger story about the history of American milk and $1 billion spent trying to sell cow juice. I am gonna try to recreate one of these milk mustache photos. I just need to find the most 90s looking outfit that I have. I think I'm ready to recreate this milk mustache photo. Now I just have to do some styling. The straightforward explanation of the milk mustache campaign is in this book that the ad agency put out, and it starts with a sandwich.
Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel?
Michael Bay, yes, Transformers director Michael Bay, directed this commercial in 1993 for the California Milk Processors Board. It was about a luncheon museum curator who couldn't win a sweepstakes because he didn't have the milk to wash down his sandwich and say the answer.
I'm afraid your time is almost up. I'm sorry, maybe next time.
I'm mentioning this for two reasons. One, as this Fast Company article describes, Got Milk became mushed together in the public consciousness with the Milk Mustache campaign, and they soon licensed it as the national tagline. It also showed the impact that a really good ad could have on the culture, even if it was for something like milk. And that affected the Milk Mustache ad campaign that started a couple years later. Bozell Worldwide made the campaign, and after some false starts, they hired legendary Rolling Stone photographer Annie Leibovitz to photograph big celebrities with milk mustaches. Each celebrity got $25,000 to do it. And that is when the questions start. Who made these magazine ads ubiquitous? And then you turn to the acknowledgments at the end of this book, and you find the folks that made it all possible. The Milk Processors Board. All right, let's style it. I feel like I'm stuck with the anachronistic facial hair, but I can take off the glasses. Middle part is an art. This is the entire reason I've been holding off on a haircut, by the way, because right now I look like Gary Oldman's emo cousin, Gary Sadman. Speaking of depression. When milk prices crashed during the Great Depression, farmers dumped good milk out to try to raise prices. That was a problem.
In Iowa, the Farmers Holiday Association organizes to block the flow of farm product to the city in an attempt to force prices up. It is illegal action. But one farmer says, seems to me there was a tea party in Boston that was illegal too.
Chaos like this led to federal milk marketing orders. These milk mustache ads, they are connected to the history of the government-designed milk market in the United States. There's a whole history, but basically you need to know that the federal government has set minimum milk prices, among other things, for a long time in hopes of keeping the market stable. No more milk dumping. For the record, I am also against milk dumping. Don't dump your milk. Phil Edwards, 2024. This stuff is complicated. You don't need to know all the details, but stuff like this map shows the complexity of prices in the market. It's split into regions too. That's why there's no big national milk brand. There's no Coke of milk. It's not allowed. The government has a lot of sway with these commodities, milk, beef, or cheese, and they want the market to be stable. They have for a long time. That extended eventually to promotion as well. In 1983, the Dairy Production Stabilization Act established that farmers had to pay 15 cents for every 100 pounds of milk to promote dairy in a bunch of ways. That led to the Fluid Milk Promotion Act of 1990, specifically the milk part of dairy. Large processors paid 20 cents per 100 pounds. That adds up to a lot of money. The funds went to the National Fluid Milk Processor Promotion Board, which ran stuff on their own and through a group called MilkPEP. They used it to plug generic milk, no brands. It got started in 1990 but wasn't really rolling until 1994, and that's when the Milk Mustache campaign started, to the tune of $65 million spent. The timing there, that is a key element. This chart shows milk consumption per person from 1978 on. Milk was flopping hard. After that spend in 1994, the Milk Board spent $71 million on Milk Mustache ads in 1995 just to try to fix it. This 2001 table shows the thinking they used throughout the campaign. They targeted celebrity choice and ad copy to a milk message. Cal Ripken Jr. uses milk to stay active. Jackie Chan grows bones. Noah Wiley is attractive to women. Ad spend went from $19 million in 1990 to peaking in 1996 at $106 million. But here's the question, did $106 million on Milk Mustaches, did it actually work? Let's do this. Let's finish off this chart. What happened after the Milk Board spent $100 million a year giving milk mustaches to pretty people? Milk consumption kept going down. Now, there's a lot of analysis saying that it staunched the bleeding, the ads actually did work. When it comes to business theories like these, it's indistinguishable from like wizard spells to me. I'm sure there are very smart, credible people doing them, so there probably is some truth to it. But what even I can see is that milk sales continued to go down, even as the population of the United States went up. Even industry milk people became skeptical of these generic milk ads. In 1993, 72% of milk processors voted for the advertising program. In 1996, 65% voted for it. By 1998, that number was down to 54%. In 2002, the program just became permanent. No more votes, they were going in the wrong direction anyway. In one congressional hearing, one processor noted the complaints. Forcing ads felt unconstitutional. It did not increase consumption, and it made milk more costly for everybody. So what's the takeaway? For one, it's just weird that the Great Depression connects to this ad campaign that helped make Ivana Trump slightly more famous. The other is, the United States decided to keep milk policy in the Depression era. Milk declined because people didn't want it or because milk can't compete. And instead of farmers pivoting to something that people actually wanted, we got milk mustaches that helped famous people become slightly more famous and helped pay off the 3-martini lunch expense accounts of glossy magazine editors who were dining out on the last gasp of a print era that could be funded by a $100 million campaign to sell milk. The ads and "got milk" end with a question mark, but really it should be a statement. You've got milk. You're not allowed to run out of it. All right, that is it for this one. I have an actual mustache, and I couldn't get a milk mustache. So, little conspiracy theory for you there. I had to add mine in Photoshop. Anyway, I'm going to put this ad up on my incredibly influential Instagram, and people are going to wonder why I look like a extra who escaped from the set of Friends. Also, if you want to see more videos like this with weird personal stuff and the occasional bit of history, please subscribe to this channel. It really helps out right now, as does liking the video or leaving a comment. And yeah, that's all the desperate plugs that I've got for you right now. So thanks for watching, and cheers.